I'm going to tell you right now that this is going to be a long one. So just sit back. Why don't you pause the video, just hit the pause, go make you a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, iced tea, soft drink, whatever, glass of wine, whatever you're drinking, because you may be here for a while if you watch the whole thing. Wanted to show you this cup. I have had these cups since my single days. I think I originally bought 4 of them, and I bought them maybe at Pier 1, maybe. But they all are different. And I think I started with 4, and I believe I have 3 of them left. I've only broken 1. But it says, on this one, it says, I don't come with a lot of baggage, but I do have a few. And then I'll show you the front. They're just so cute. I have coffee in mine this morning, and it's hot. I have so much to talk to you about that I have a list so that I don't forget anything. Just sort of a lot of stuff that I have to show you and I want to try. The first thing, though, that I want to do is, oh, and by the way, this is not a tutorial. I'm going to sort of show you these things that I'm using right now, and as I do that, I'll put my makeup on for the day. And again, this is just for the day, not going any place special. I did my hair, we'll talk about that. And as I said, I've purchased a couple of things. I've received some things in the mail. Oh, you know what? Let's do this first. I want to give you an update on my nails, the All Dashing nails. They're still on. I have not had any issue with them whatsoever. A couple of days ago, now, this is Sunday morning, I put these on Tuesday afternoon. About 2 days ago, a couple of them felt like they were getting a little bit loose. And so what I did is I thought, well, you know what? Maybe that adhesive is still good. So I took each nail and I just, you know, when I was applying them, how I pressed the nail on, I just pressed it and held it again for about 10 or 15 seconds. And I did each nail like that, and they were back on. No problem whatsoever since. Now, I know that for me, it looks like these are going to stay on a while. But my problem, and I had the same problem when I wore acrylics and when I've worn the other glue-on nails, is my fingernails grow so fast. I mean, they grow super fast. And so I'm going to have to take them off and either redo them or leave them off for a while. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do. But I'm still loving them. I am still loving them. And the only tip that I can give you and reiterate, I guess, is when you're selecting your nail size, make sure and go just a tiny bit smaller. And I mean, you know, just like a hair, smaller than or narrower than your nail bed. I think you'll be so much more pleased with them, you know, because they're so thin and yet they're sturdy, but it's like they're flexible. And I think when they're just a tiny bit smaller, they just blend in with your natural nail, I think. I ordered, it was maybe a couple of weeks ago now from QVC. Here's my receipt. It's the Doll 10 Kisses with Bag Lip Genius Lip Transforming Collection, 6-piece collection. And this is pretty pale, so I don't know if you can see this, but you get 3, wait a minute. Yeah, you get 3 Lip Genius lipsticks, and I'll show those to you. You get the Lip Genius lip gloss, you get the Lip Genius lip liner, and the Perfect Pout Revitalizing Lip Exfoliant. And then they also sent, they didn't list it on here, but there's a makeup bag, and we'll look at that. But and we'll do the lipsticks and all later, but what I wanted to do is, this is the lip scrub. Oh, and by the way, that's what it looks like in the box. I was going to say, come back to me, camera. Speaking of the camera. And again, I'm going to just talk to you while I put my makeup on and do all of this. So this is the Doll 10 Perfect Pout Revitalizing Lip Exfoliant. Can you see? And I'm taking just a little bit, not much, exfoliating my lips. And I always go right outside my lips a little when I use these scrubs. I guess I should look at see what it says. Well, it doesn't tell me there. I don't see any instructions. So I'm just going to go ahead. I have my Campanelli face cloth here and wipe that off. That got it. They feel much softer. I'm sure they're working. Some of you may know that just 2 or 3 years ago, CityLips sent me some product, and I really did like it. I just use so much in the way of skincare that, I have such strong feelings about skincare that I don't, I just don't stick to any one brand. And so many of you ask me about skincare all the time. What do you use? What do you use? One day I'm going to show you my skincare drawer. You would die if you saw it, because I have a lot. And I just switch it out all the time. I'll stick with one line for a while, then I'll move to something else, or maybe I'll use a little of this and a little of this. But CityLips contacted me again and asked if they could send me product again. And they did have a couple of products that I didn't try before that I wanted to try. So that's what I'm going to be using today. Now, I haven't used this, but I've used these in the past. And they sent me a ton of stuff. They asked me, what do you want us to send you? And I said, I'm normal to dry. Just send me what you think I should use. Well, let me show you what they sent me. They sent me a box of their Hydro Mask, the Line Smoothing Hydro Mask, face mask, the sheet mask. And I've used these before, so I didn't put this one on this morning, but that's one thing they sent me. The next thing that they sent, and by the way, I've been using these now for a couple of weeks, and I like them. I mean, I like them. What's not to like about it? But this is something I had not tried. It's called the Uplift Firming Serum. And I always shake everything. And it has has a dropper, but when you unscrew the cap, the top pops up, so you don't have to do that. And I will tell you, I rarely squeeze this on my hands because I'm the only person using this. I just wipe it on my and I think I'll be a little bit more. I'm going to do the same thing. And it just sinks right into my skin. There's just no dry down time. Let's see what else we have. I have not used their advanced eye cream. They sent that. Just a little. I'm going to tell you something. Those of you who have been with me, or if you've gone back and you've looked at old videos, you know that every time, and I did this way long before YouTube, but what I've always done when I tried a new skincare product or line is I would choose one side of my face. And I would, on one side of my face, I would continue to do exactly what I'd been doing prior to that. The other side, I would use nothing but the new product. And I would give it a minimum of 3 months, 4 months, 5 months maybe, but a minimum of 3 months. And I would look at my face and decide whether or not I saw any difference whatsoever. I've tried probably hundreds of products over the years doing this. I've never seen a difference. Never. I've said this so many times. If someone would just come up to me and say, Patti, why does this side of your face look different from this side? Or your skin looks smoother over here, or firmer over here than it does over here. If anyone, and that's Jim, it's my daughter, it's my sister, it's my best friend, it's my next door neighbor, it's a total stranger in a store, if anyone ever looked at me twice and said, what have you done different on one side of your face? That's never happened. Never. But then, okay. I've always done something to my skin. From the time I was a young adult, I've done something to my skin. This is the Multi-Action Sculpting Cream, and I have used this before, and I do like this. But you can see I've got a big dip out of it, because you use this morning and night. All of this I can do morning and night, except for 1 or 2 actually that I'm going to show you. But morning and night. But you know, I have always taken care of my skin. I've used very high-end products. I've used drugstore. Doesn't matter. I have come to the conclusion, I have all kinds of neck creams that I am going to continue to use, but I have come to the conclusion that, and by the way, I always massage whatever I'm putting on my neck into the back of my neck, and sometimes I will sort of give it this. But like I say, I've never seen a difference. Never. I see befores and afters with these products. You know, that's what entices you to buy them. But the bottom line is, nothing. Now, something else they've sent me, and I haven't tried this yet, but it's called a line blurring wrinkle filler. This must be a new product. Oh, okay. So let's see here. See, this is why this video is going to be longer as I'm doing skincare. Let's see. Let's do this. And let's do these trenches under my eyes. Get a little more. I'm going to go over my lips. Well, why don't we do my crow's feet? I tell you what, it looks like it's getting ready to rain. We're going through this weather pattern right now. It probably has to do with the tropical storms. But, they also sent, and this is my all-time favorite CityLips product. It's the lip gloss, the clear. Love this stuff. And I'm going to use my finger. I like to put this on my lips when I start my makeup, or before. And then, and by the way, the reason I'm using my finger on this is the last tube, it was so gunked up when it got about halfway gone that I was afraid to use it from putting it on my lips and getting makeup, you know, a foundation, or getting, maybe I still had some lip color on, and so I'm going to try to keep this one from being gunked up. And they also sent me 2 lipsticks. They sent me a pink gloss called San Diego, which is just a gloss. And they sent me a matte called Pink Taupe. But we're going to use one of those doll lipsticks, so I'm not going to use this. So there is going to be a discount code for you for CityLips down in the description box. I'm putting all this back up in case you're interested in trying CityLips out. They're not drugstore pricing, I will tell you that. To put that over there. It is more expensive than drugstore, but it's not probably as expensive as some of the real higher end brands. Oh, I forgot something. Let me get this back out. My sunscreen. This has to be fairly new too. It's the Skin Perfecting Daily Veil Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 39. How did you let me forget my sunscreen? Probably should have. No, this is the last thing you apply. Started to say I probably should have done it before the line filler, but I have been using this and I like it. I'm going to put some of this down on my neck and my chest. Might as well get it on the backs of my hands too. Alright. I think we can do makeup now. Let's see, and I've got it all right here. If you see me reaching, I'm going to grab my brushes out. If I have enough in here. And by the way, everything that I'm putting on my face, everything we're talking about, I'm going to leave in the description box below. I think in the last video, probably the nail video, I was wearing a Lancome foundation that I absolutely love. And I think what I love most about that Lancome foundation is the color. I have tried to find that color in a drugstore or a less expensive foundation, and there's something about that color that it just really matches my skin tone. It works for me, but I can't find it anywhere else. I've taken back when I've had that foundation for probably 7 or 8 months, and I've taken it, actually the bottle in my purse when I've gone to Ulta and to, I haven't been to Sephora I don't think since, but Ulta and Walmart, CVS, you know, the drugstores. This is when I was going to stores. I've taken it with me to try to match the color. I cannot match it. But I love that foundation. It's expensive. I love that foundation for that reason. But I am absolutely loving this Doll Tint foundation. If I had to choose one foundation and use only one foundation every single day, it would be a toss-up between the Doll Tint, and I wear the medium in it, by the way. It would be a toss-up between this and the It Cosmetics CC Cream. I like that one a lot too, but I do really and truly think I like this one better. And as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to order this one in a different color, maybe a little bit darker, and see if I can do my own little match and get the get something close to the Lancome. But I like everything about this foundation. I love the tube, the pump tube. So I'm just gonna get a little on and use my trusty brush. I know something I can talk about that's not makeup related, that's on my list. I get such interesting comments from all of you, and I love your comments. I'm not always able to reply to them, but I absolutely love reading them. I read every single one. And I love the way you talk to each other in the comments. I'm telling you something. If you're single, if you're alone, and you need company, go under my videos and start reading comments and find somebody that you think you would relate to, maybe just, you know, based on their comment, and reach out to that person. I don't necessarily mean searching them down and trying to locate them and send them a private message, but start a conversation with that person and, you know, build a relationship that way. And then if you decide that both of you want to be pen pals or chat pals, put a little bit more right there. I could use some concealer, but I'm not going to. Then if you decide you want to exchange email addresses and maybe eventually phone numbers, do that. But I like this color, but it's a little light for me, especially with the tan. And I'm telling you, this has already dried down. It's already dried down. I pulled this out too because I've had this for a while, but it's the Doll 10 eyebrows, and there's not a brush on the other end. I think they've changed this since I bought this. But I think so many of our people here that subscribe to this channel, RXSTRMOM, we have so much in common. Even our younger girls who are watching, and I'm sure there are some guys, well, I know there are some guys, but, you know, the younger girls look to us as being older because they're scared to death. They are truly scared to death of aging. And we need to help them. You know, we need to help them through this process. We need to let them know that it's okay. We're doing it, and I tell you, by the time they get to be my age, especially, I hope they won't feel so scared about aging, the aging process, what's going to happen to them. So, you know, if you're older, like me, really older, and you read the comments and you see someone who's young making a comment like that, you know, thank you. Thank you for letting me know that there is hope. It is okay. I can do this. You know, if you see a comment like that, reinforce what I've said in the video. Let them know, hey, I'm doing this too, and I'm okay. I think they would appreciate it. I will tell you in the comments, I almost never get a hateful comment. Never. In fact, when I got my first one many years ago, I did a video about it. Some of you have probably seen it. Someone, and I'm sure she or he was probably very, very, very unhappy in their personal life for whatever reason, left a comment then about, and oh, by the way, this is Bare Minerals Gen Nude Rose Palette, and this is what it looks like. And I'm going to start off with, this is, oh, Haze right here. And I have my color switch. And listen, they have these types of things everywhere, and it's just a way of cleaning your brush so that you can use the same brushes if you want to. But the person who commented that day in my first hate comment called me a grandma, I think, but in a negative sort of way. And listen, at that point in my life, I was a grandmother by marriage. Jim had 2 grandchildren who are now young adults. But I'm going to change brushes. This is a Sephora brush right here. Let me tell you, it's a Pro Tapered Crease number 19. This is an old, I think, Smashbox brush, old. And I'm going to go into this one. It's called Soul. I laughed at that comment because I thought, you're directing that comment to someone who had a child that thought she never wanted children. And you knew you would, if you were going to be single for the rest of your life, you would never have grandchildren. And now I'm blessed with these 2 wonderful young adults. And they were pretty decent teenagers. So, although the person who wrote that comment more than likely really thought she was going to upset me, it didn't at all. It was a compliment. And I almost never have, I mean, you're really quick to tell me things, but it's always done in such a loving way. I think, at least. Going back to this brush. But, and just blend. But this last video, I had two of those. They were not hate. They were meant to be constructive. One sort of reminded me of that first one all those years ago, but she said, this is out of love. And she didn't say it was because I had my hair pulled back, but that was the only thing that I could relate it to. But she said, you look like a grandma, or something to that effect. Well, the other one, and I'm the worst about this, the absolute worst, and my friend Susan from Little Poet has told me this on more than one occasion, and thank you, Susan, for continuing to tell me. But I'm really bad when I set my camera up and I'm doing my focusing. I'm really bad about just having the camera on my face and not out far enough. And so the other comment was, move that camera back, Patty, or something to that effect. And that was all it said. Move, and it wasn't Susan. Move that camera back. So my camera's back. Normally it would be like up at my chin. And I know you're supposed to have your top of your head close to the top of the frame of the camera, but you're seeing me that up close, you know that what you're seeing is real. But I pushed my camera back, or didn't push it back, but I focused it back further, zoomed it out more. Probably should do it a little bit more because I'm leaning down into my mirror, but at least you're not right up in my face. a, let's see, well, I didn't bring the little brush that I was going to do my, well, I'll use my pencil, and I'm going to have to get up. So, to that wonderful subscriber who told me I look like a grandma, I take that as a compliment. To the person who told me to move the camera back, thank you. Thank you. As I said, Susan reminds me from time to time in a very nice way. She's very, very tactful about it, as for those of you who know Susan, little poet. It's always good to have a friend who will be real with you. I think that's about the best we can do there. Okay, let's do some, I tell you, I learned about this from Emily Noel, the Essence Volume Booster Lash Primer, and got that from Ulta. And I've tried lash primers before and I didn't like them at all because it just seemed to clump my eyelashes up. But Emily says, y'all know, I mean, I know you know who Emily is. I'll list her channel below. And if you go over to Emily, tell her I said hi. I'll list Susan too. Everybody, I think, everybody loves Emily. But Emily said when you're using these lash primers to thinner, less is more. And so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get, or I've been trying to get as much as I can off of the brush. And she said to let it dry almost completely, and that's hard for me. So let me turn this down. In the bathroom, I have a spoolie, a little brush that I can comb through my lashes with. I'm looking at my list over here too. I'm always leery, especially on camera, about using this lash primer because, like I say, if I get too much, I have a mess. My lashes all clump together, but this really worked out today. Okay, I think that's gonna get it. So I know you probably can't tell it, but I redid my roots the other day too. This is crazy. Back when we had the, by the way, the Doll 10 concealer, I love this concealer. It takes, when I tell you, just a pinhead, basically a pinhead. But the first time that I got out after the pandemic, it had probably been about 3 or 4 months, we went to the Dollar Tree. Well, I say we, Jim waited in the car for me, and we waited until we knew there was no one in the store for me to go in, and I looked like, well, you know, a mask, my gloves, all of my wipes. I went in loaded. And one of the things I bought, because I was really starting to think about my hair, one of the things I bought was a hair color, and let me show it to you. It looks like this. It's called Color Easy, and I bought number 10 Lightest Blonde. I was very, very leery about using it, the Dollar Tree. I'm bleaching my hair. So I just put it away, and then I got to the point where I knew I had to do something with my hair. And that was, some of you will remember my trip to Sally's, and I won't go into that, but, and several of you have asked about the hair color, and I did save the box so I could make sure and get the same thing if I wanted it. But I got the Ion brand Intensive Shine, and it's called Whitest Blonde 10N, and that's what it looks like. And I was looking on here. I don't see it. Oh wait, yeah, here it is. It was the applicator bottle with the developer, and there was 3.33 fluid ounces in it, and there was a pre-color treatment that was 0.51 fluid ounces, and then there's an after color treatment that was 0.68 ounces. But the first two, which would make it 4 ounce, right at 4 ounces, was plenty. I mean, it was what you would normally expect in one of these. But my hair grows so fast, just like my nails. And the other day, yesterday as a matter of fact, my roots, you know, the gray, especially all this in the front, it was bad. And I remembered buying that color from the Dollar Tree. And so I went in and dug it out. And would you believe, this is the Dollar Tree. It was minute. It was the cream developer in the bottle, which was 1.4 ounces, and this one was 3.33. And then the developer was 1.4, and the Ion, which is the normal size, was 0.51. But anyway, this, in no way could I have done my whole head with what was in this box. I mean, I was only going to do my roots anyway, and I thought, you know, I've had all that breakage, but the breakage is all back on the ends, down low, so I knew this was pretty new hair that I was dealing with if I had any issues with it. But I'm telling you, I love the color. I mean, I really do like the color. And I like the fact that I'm only doing my roots, so I'm not throwing away product. Because I would have bought this and only done my roots and then thrown the rest of it away. So if you're doing just your roots, I can't vouch for this, not this one. This is the one I would have normally bought, but the Dollar Tree one, I'm telling you, number 10, lightest blonde. Now again, when I shampoo it, it may be a whole different story. Okay, I'm gonna sort of blot the CityLips off of my lips, and let's look now at the lip product. As Gilda Radner used to say, it's always something. My battery in my camera just went dead. So anyway, we're going to try this. And one of the reasons I bought this was because the few times that I have been out and I've worn a mask, when I take that mask off, it is just gunky on the inside from lipstick. And so this is supposed to stay on. And she used mask and then blotted with actual mask. So this is the Doll 10 Lip Genius. It's a mechanical pencil. And there we go. I normally don't wear nudes, you know that. So, oh, this is interesting. Look, to open this, maybe this is part of what makes it stay, you have to unscrew it. And then to close it, you screw it back on. You don't just pop it. All right, let's look at these. I think I'm gonna go with Killing It. And then I have the lip gloss, if I can get it out. Okay, come on. Let's see, I have to do something different here. Get it out of the packaging. While this is drying down, let's just look at this little makeup bag. Oh, how cute, it's pink. There you go. Great little makeup bag for travel if we're ever able to travel again. So that's nice. I'm going to wait a little minute before I put that lip gloss on because I still have some things on my list to talk to you about. Tomorrow's my birthday. I have boxes back here on the table. I don't know if you can see them. I've been getting packages in the mail from the kids and my sister. And Jim has been wrapping them. He's been in secret wrapping them and putting them here. And I picked out my own birthday present from him. And so I know what he's getting me, but I have no idea what anybody else has gotten me. I'm not filming with it. I film these videos with a Canon T5i. I've had it for about maybe 3 years, and I love it. I love it for filming my videos. But I bought the new little Canon M50 right after the first of the year for myself. I love that little camera, but it has, it's very limited into lenses that you can add to it. And so many of the content creators here on YouTube use what's called a nifty 50 millimeter lens that you can blur out the backgrounds and do all kinds of things with. And so I wanted that, and it will fit on this Canon T5i, but it won't fit on the M50 without an adapter, and I also got a speed booster. Wait, this is the little camera. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. The Canon T5i weighs a ton. This is pretty lightweight. It's easy to carry around. That's what Jim gave me, is the nifty 50 and the speed booster. But they've been here for like 2 weeks and he's had them wrapped, so I can't use them. Otherwise I would have snuck them out and played with them. But tomorrow I have an idea about all of this that I'm going to share with you. Filming. I want to talk about filming, and I want to do a video about that, about filming and whether or not it's important to the viewer when we have good videos. How important is it to the viewer? I know what it is. I can answer the question for me, but I want to see what you have to say about it too, and talk about maybe some things we can do, those of us who are content creators. Okay, we've talked about my nails, skincare, we talked about hair color. I do have a funny story to tell you. Funny story. Y'all know I have been secluded, I feel like, or quarantined, self-imposed, most of it. I'm just not willing to take the risk to go out and go into the stores and restaurants. I'm just not going to do it. I'm 70, tomorrow I'll be 77. I am in one of the most vulnerable age groups. And nothing is, to me, is worth getting or being exposed to COVID. Nothing. Although I am just as healthy as I can be, take no medication for anything, very active, I want to believe that my body would have the ability to fight it off, but I'm just not willing to take the chance. And that's just me personally. Jim feels the same way. He plays golf because he's outside. They sanitize those golf carts, and they can't touch the flagpoles. I mean, you know, they social distance the guys that he plays with. They play first off in the morning, so no one is sat in that cart. Course closed the day before. So we feel pretty secure with him playing golf. And then he goes to our grocery store. About a mile from us, we have a Publix on one corner, and on this corner is a Winn-Dixie. And he mainly goes to the Publix, but we keep a list going. And usually on his way home from golf, he will run in with his mask and still his gloves, and he just has a system for how he grocery shops, he says. And he comes home with whatever is on our list. But we were talking a couple of weeks ago about Walmart, and how what we miss about Walmart is there were certain things that are just cheaper at Walmart, a lot cheaper. Some canned goods and things like that, and we miss that. So I said, you know, I know they have the curbside. Let me just, I'm going to reach for my lip gloss here, my Doll 10 lip gloss. Ooh. And so, although these lips are still moist, they're certainly not dry. But I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to not contaminate it. But I said, you know, let me just check this out. So I went on downloaded the Walmart app on my phone and started browsing around to see how it worked. And we started a grocery list. We had to pick a pickup time, and we had to wait almost a week for the Walmart that's closest to us. Had to wait almost a week before we could pick up the order. But in that week, every day we were adding a couple of items to our list, and it was nothing that we were out of or that we couldn't do without. I even put on there one of my favorite fingernail polishes. Since I've had my acrylics off, letting just my natural nails, I have sort of narrowed down to one nail polish that I really like, and would you believe I am almost out of it? What does that tell you? So I had even put that on there. And what is today? Sunday. It was Thursday. Our pickup was Thursday. Would you believe our air conditioning went out and we had to have our unit replaced, and Thursday was the only day they could replace it. They were coming by every couple of days and putting Freon in our air conditioner until they could work us in. But he was due to come here to change out our air conditioning unit on Thursday, and that was the day we had the pickup at Walmart. So of course, Jim was chit-chatting with the guy, and Jim just sort of, he said, you're just gonna have to go to Walmart and get the groceries. And so, you know, he said, now you make sure you got your mask on. I don't care if you're not getting out of the car. You don't get out of that car. And so I'm going, I got you, Jim. I got you. I think I can handle this. Anyway, I got the email. We were supposed to go between 12 and 1. We knew that was our time frame to pick up our things from Walmart. I got a text stating that they were preparing our order right then, and they would let me know when it was ready. And about 11:45, I got a text, and it said the order was ready, and I could head out and just to click, I'm on my way, and head that way. So I clicked, I'm on my way. I mean, I go and get in the car, and I get there. It's about 10 or 15 minutes away from us. I get there, and it had told me to pull in one of the reserved parking places. So I pulled in one of the reserved spots, and I heard my phone ding, and I looked down, and the message said, I see you're here. And it said, what parking spot are you in? And I was in number 1, as it turned out. So I typed in, hit 1, and then it said, what color is your car? And it had all the colors listed, and I hit black, and it came up and it said, we'll be right out. Pop your trunk. And I reached down and I popped my trunk, and it said, keep your windows rolled up. And it was just no time, and this young woman comes out. She has a mask on. She waved at me and smiled and walked around, put the groceries in my trunk, closed it, waved bye. And we drove off. Or I drove off and back home. I couldn't believe it. I have another list going for this coming Thursday. So we were talking about this. We have saved so much money during this quarantine. I just can't believe how much we've saved on food. We had decided when we moved down here and we retired that we have some neighbors who eat every single meal out, and we didn't want to do that. But we decided what we would do, for the most part, is we would only eat 1 meal out a day, and it could be either lunch or dinner. Jim is a wonderful cook, and he cooks all of our meals, pretty much everything. So he's been cooking, you know, and he would cook whatever meal we were eating or meals we were eating at home on any given day. But we had sort of settled in for the last 2 or 3 years into eating lunch out and then having dinner in. But even having lunch out, regardless of what, we don't eat fast food. So regardless of where we went, we were spending between $20 and probably $35, depending on where we went for lunch, every single day. Many days, at that time, Jim was playing golf every day and playing first thing in the morning. I would just meet him for lunch, wherever we decided we were going. But since we've been eating lunch at home, it's unreal how much money we've saved. And it's like I told Jim, when he goes to Publix or Winn-Dixie, mainly it's Publix, unless they don't have something that he needs. He's in and out. He doesn't spend extra money. He doesn't take the time to shop around. We have a list. We know what we need. And that's the way it was with Walmart. I knew exactly what we needed. He had cooked something the other night and used one of our Teflon type skillets, one of those finishes. And I was washing dishes afterwards, and it was almost like that was sort of flaking off, and it was a relatively new pan. And he just said, I told him about it, what was going on. He said, just throw it away. And I threw it in the trash, and he said, the next day he handed me his phone and said, add the skillet to our Walmart list. So we even had a skillet on there. And my nail polish was not available. In fact, I think the day before, I had a text and it said that my nail polish was not going to be available. Did I want to substitute it or choose a different color? And I said no, because you do have that option. So we got everything on our list except for my nail polish, and there were probably about 15 or 20 things on that list. So I'm loving this. I felt so good. I felt so important because I got to go to Walmart and pick up the order. He didn't go with me to drive. I went by myself. It was perfectly safe. I had my mask. I had my gloves in case I needed them. I knew I wouldn't. But that's the way to shop. I mean, when I did the same thing at Ulta. I just needed a couple of items, and listen, as long as these stores are having curbside service, even when this is over, I bet it's something that we see continue. That's the way I'm going to shop. Now, do I want to go in and look around and touch things and feel things? Sometimes I do, and I've been thinking here lately, I would love to go in Michael's or Joann's. I would like some new florals, and maybe to redo some flower arrangements. And I would like to see what I'm getting. But no, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to take that chance. And again, that is a personal decision that I have made for me. I do hope if you've made the decision to get out and about and go in the stores that you wear your mask. Because we don't wear our mask for us. We wear our mask for others. And I say this, I say the same thing about wearing a mask as to winning the lottery. It only takes one number to win the lottery. Has to be the right number, but it only takes one. It only takes one person to cough or sneeze, and it may be that one person that you come in contact with that you don't even know. Maybe they didn't even know that they were symptomatic. Maybe they don't know. They think they're perfectly healthy. And they cough or they sneeze without a mask, and you don't have a mask on. And you could get it. It only takes one person. And the thing is, we don't know who that one person is. I would just ask you to wear a mask. Be considerate of others. Wear a mask. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I sure hope you'll subscribe. Remember, it's free. Costs nothing. It's free. And hit the little bell to make sure that you are notified every single time I post a video. As I've said so many times, we have the best group of viewers and subscribers of any channel here on YouTube. You're the best. I know you are. Don't forget to go out and be kind. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.